Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Masters action will continue today. A quick look at the leaderboard. Tied at the top, Rory McIlroy and Cam Young at 11 under. Sam Burns at 10 under. Shane Lowry and Jason Day round out the top 5 at 9 and 8 under. Coverage begins today at 2 p.m. In Cleveland, the Guardians also with a win. They beat the Braves 6-0. Guards third baseman Jose Ramirez had a solo home run in the first that made him the first Cleveland player to go deep against all 29 MLB teams. The Guardians will take on the Braves tonight again at 7:20. The Blue Jackets in the win column yesterday, 5-2 versus the Canadians. With 2 to go, they take on the Bruins tonight at 6 as the CBJ continues to chase the Flyers for a late season playoff bid. In the NBA, the Cavaliers wrap up their season today against the Washington Wizards at 6 p.m. The Cavs are locked into the 4th seed in the playoffs, so they will not have any starters or rotational players suited up. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Oh, baby, it's time for On the Money. Because let's face it, it's more fun that way.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. And presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Remember to pause before you play.
Here's Scotty Vegas and Dave Biddle.
Oh, guys, I am so pumped for these next couple hours. We're going to have a ton of fun here on the money. And, guys, there is so much to get into and so many different routes to take this show, right? Because we got the Blue Jackets coming down to the final weekend here with an opportunity to get into the playoffs. We'll get into the odds on the Jackets to make the playoffs. We've got spring game week. It's Ohio State football week, right? It's game week. Baby. We got a spring game coming up in 6 days. We'll get into the odds on Ohio State. Not Scarlet versus Gray odds. Maybe we can get into that
Miss those days.
Next week. But what we can get into is Ohio State's odds to win the national championship, Heisman odds, all those good things to make the playoffs. Some of those fun bets out there as well. And then we've got some transfer portal action for Ohio State hoops. A big couple days. Ohio State lands a new guard, lands a new big. We're going to get into that. It's also Masters Sunday. As we said last hour, here we go. One of the best Sundays of the year. And we've got a leaderboard to match what we need as far as excitement to go. So we'll get into all of the golf betting as well. So as bad of a mood as I was in earlier this week, I was in, guys, one of the worst moods ever when I watched Michigan win the national championship. However, today, hearing this music, the Masters, it's put me back into a spring good mood. And so let's get into it. Let's get into the odds right now on the Masters as we head into the final round. Here's your leaderboard. Cam Young and Rory McIlroy at the top at 11-1. And Rory McIlroy is the favorite at plus 150. Then you've got Cam Young in there at plus 225. Sam Burns, one shot back. He's sitting there at 6-1. And then you get a little bit further down the board. Scotty Scheffler is fourth in the odds. He's 4 shots back. He's 10-1. We're talking about this a little bit last hour. You guys both like sprinkling a little bit on the 10-1 with Scotty Scheffler.
I'm a little disappointed that with that music playing, you didn't read those odds in your Jim Nantz voice.
I should have.
Hello, friends. Here's the odds.
Yes.
On the final day, even though I don't think they're allowed to talk about that kind of stuff on the Masters broadcast. No. That's on the sheet of things you don't say. Yeah, I know it's crazy because he's 4 strokes back. But I don't know how at that price you couldn't sprinkle just a little bit on Scotty Scheffler to win this thing today.
I get it. And I was telling Isaiah, I said, Isaiah, I totally get the wanting to sprinkle on Scheffler. However, if you look at the top of this leaderboard, with it being Cam Young and Rory McIlroy, that's why I have a hard time seeing Scotty Scheffler come back from 4 shots back. That's the deal for me, because Cam Young, if you're the casual golf fan, you might not realize this, but he was playing the best golf of anybody this calendar year. He won the Players' Championship, an enormous tournament about a month ago. And so he's at the top with Rory McIlroy, who won this last year. And so for me, taking Scotty Scheffler, and usually I love betting Scotty. Love me some Scotty. But to me, with those guys on top, it's hard for me to see Scotty coming from 4 back Isaiah, you had an opinion on it too, because you were talking to me during the break about, hey, Scotty Scheffler sitting there. I keep wanting to sprinkle.
Yeah, and I did already. It was $10.
Oh, he's in.
You throw $10 on it, you win 100 if you wins it. And it's like, I don't want to look back at the end of the day and say, how did you not take Scotty Scheffler at 10-1? Like, how do you not take him at 11-1, 9-1 at those longer odds? Like, I get with Rory and Cam Young, like, do I see them probably one of those two walking out today and winning? Yes. But at the same time, they're plus 155, plus 240, like the odds of your actual bet. I mean, you're not getting the value that you are with Scotty. And whenever I see him still in the hunt that close with those odds, how do you not sprinkle on him?
I get it. Now, the guy that you're rooting for, Ryan, is Justin Rose. He's 3 shots back. He's 14-1. Shane Lowry, the big Irishman. Love Shane Lowry. He is 3 shots back. He's 12-1. Jason Day, the local. We love Jason Day here in Columbus. Actually lives about a 2-minute drive from where I live. And he is 22-1. So that's kind of where I drew the line. I said, 7 guys can still win this thing. And those are the 7. You could go a little deeper. You could say Patrick Reed at 5 shots back. He is 65-1. And Hao Tong Lee is 4 shots back. He's 75-1. But those are your odds. Value-wise, I guess I could get behind a little bit of Scotty Scheffler, but I just have a hard time with those two leading, Ryan, to take anybody outside of that final group.
And I think that's fair. I would say the one argument to that, and I know Cam Young's been brilliant this year, but he's never won one. It's a lot of pressure here, especially after going as low as he did yesterday. And then Rory, yeah, he won it last year, but he's had a history of choking these things away. So Scotty's the one guy in this whole leaderboard that I'm confident going under par today.
Yeah.
Like, of all the guys up there, he's the one that I feel like there's no doubt he's going to shoot under par. And he's also the guy that I have the most faith in going low.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that because he's won it twice already. And he's sitting there 4 shots back. It would surprise me if he doesn't shoot a 67 or 66 and at least get this to 11 or 12 under and then say, hey, now you got to beat me, right? He's starting a half hour before those leaders in the right now are Young and McIlroy tee off at 225 and Scotty Scheffler's at 152. So it will be fun to track. Hey, I wanted to bring this up because this is huge in the sports gambling world, especially in the state of Ohio. I mentioned that it was a brutal start to the week for me. First off, it started out with those idiots up north winning a national championship in basketball. But then news comes out that some Ohio lawmakers are introducing a couple different bills to overhaul the sports gaming and gambling system in the state. And at first, I'm like, what? These idiots. What are they thinking? And then I dove a little deeper, and here are their proposed ideas. 1, no online bets. Online bets go away. Number 2.
So does that mean your apps?
That's your apps. Yes, that is your apps. That's using your phone to place a bet, which would benefit our friends over at the casino because that means to make a bet, you have to make it at a brick and mortar, which would lead a lot of people into the casino.
Which would mean you would end up getting divorced from your wife because you would never be home.
Well, yeah. Here's the good news. They're building a nice, new, beautiful hotel at Hollywood Casino. That's opening up in June. All right, but no online bets is on the table in this terribly proposed idea to change the sports betting in Ohio. Another one, ban on in-game prop and parlay bets. Are you kidding me? You're now gonna not just ban it from being online, but you want to ban no in-game bets, no parlays, and no props. Then why do you even have sports gambling at that point? Right? That's absolutely ridiculous. They want to limit wagers to $100. Also really, really stupid. No ads during games. Oh, so now we're also going to punish the media companies and the leagues and people who are selling advertising.
Yeah, I'm sure the NFL is going to be like, well, we're not going to run this DraftKings ad in Ohio. Get out of here.
Well, look, I mean, absolutely. That's on the table for in the state of Ohio. They're saying no ads during games. And then the other thing is no using credit cards to place bets. Now, that one I can get. That one doesn't bother me. But the first four piss me off.
If you're dumb enough to use your credit card to bet, you get what you deserve.
Yes.
You get what you deserve.
So these losers are proposing these different changes to the Ohio sports betting landscape here. And again, what all this does to me, and first off, I don't think that these are going to happen. All right, these are proposed ideas by some lawmakers. I don't think it's going to ever go through. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But what it does is it takes a lot of state tax dollars out from the sports betting. It also, Ryan, what does it do? It makes the sports bettors go from actually betting on it legally here in the state of Ohio with the money staying in the state of Ohio back to offshore gambling we go. So it makes absolutely no sense to me at all. What it does is it sends you back to those offshore sites that we wanted to do away with anyway. Thoughts?
Scotty, I have a lot of thoughts.
Yes.
So many that I think we should go to break and then come back and get the rest of these thoughts because I have one right now to debunk their credit card theory right now. Like, if you're going to do this with sports betting, you better do this with something else too. So I've got a lot on this.
All right. I can't wait to hear it. We'll be back in a couple minutes. This is On the Money.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts and springs guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much left because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
It all connects. The girl who walks for hours to bring home the family's water, the school she can't attend most days, her little brother's belly laugh, her dreams of being a teacher, an engineer, the mayor. It all connects. But at Child Fund, so do we, through everything we do, so every child can grow up healthy, educated, and safe. Because we need each other. Learn more at childfund.org.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment is like driving the entire length of a football field blind. Don't let those few seconds distract you from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. And now back to a show featuring two dudes who've been kicked out of their homes by angry wives. This pretty much sums up every show we have here on The Fan. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
So we have a lot of fun things to get into today on the Money. Blue Jackets in the chase for the NHL playoffs. We'll get into spring game week. We'll talk a little NFL draft. We'll get into all that fun, good stuff. Unfortunately, we got to spend a few minutes on a few idiots that are out there. And again, the story that came out this week, there are Ohio lawmakers that are introducing a couple different bills to overhaul the sports gaming and gambling system. And their suggestions, I hate to even read these suggestions off because they're so stupid. But no online bets, a ban on in-game prop and parlay bets, limiting wagers to $100, no ads during games, because if we see ads, that's really going to cause issues, and no credit cards to bet on sports. That came out this week, and it was a buzz. This is a sports gambling show, so we're going to get into it a little bit deeper. Again, you do this, and what it does is it sends people that are into sports gambling back to the offshore sports books where the state then makes no money off it. So I think it's an absolutely terrible, stupid idea. I don't get why we can't be responsible for our own actions. It makes no sense to me. But Ryan, I'd love to get your take on it.
Now, Scotty, it's Tide's fault that you put that bleach pod in your mouth. So, I mean, there's no personal accountability in this world anymore. And the first thing I would like to say here is Ohio State already had some of the strictest gambling laws out there. Like, we can't bet on Jeremiah Smith to get a touchdown anymore in a game. They got rid of that because, well, these athletes were getting ridiculed. Well, why don't we go after the people ridiculing them? Like, why don't we do something about those people who are doing the stupid things and going after athletes online? Why don't we go get them and deal with them So the few don't ruin things for the majority.
Thank you. Yes.
Here's my first thing here with this credit card thing. And again, if you are gambling with a credit card, I feel like you're getting everything that's coming to you. Like, call the number, please, because the number is there for help. So go get the help that you need. Are we going to take the credit card machine off of the Keno machine that's at every bar or restaurant in this state? Because they all have them, and you can put your credit card right there and you can go play Keno. At every Walmart or Kroger or Meijer, are we going to go in there where there's an Ohio lottery machine where you can play Keno or you can play other games or you can buy your scratch-off tickets or your Mega Millions or your Powerball? Are we going to go take the credit card machine off of that? Because they all have them on there too. You can all use your credit card right there. What is the difference? Because I got to be honest, there is no difference.
I'm with you 100%. And to go even further, Ryan, every advertisement that we do, every sports betting advertisement, every time we promote going out to the casino, to Hollywood Casino, every time, we do this show is sponsored. This is a sports betting show. This show is sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. And we put a number out there for people that need help. There's websites out there that it is like readily available that if people need help, here's where you go to get it. The idea that these lawmakers want to come up and say, okay, here's the limitations that we want to put on it, make it so that there's like the no online bets, the no in-game, the no parlay, no props, that basically completely bans sports gambling in the state of Ohio, because that's what people do. Like they use their phone to bet on sports, and people like to make parlays. People like to do in-game wagers. So, like, it's essentially banning sports gambling altogether in the state if you are to pass what they are suggesting here.
And as you mentioned, there are ways to still gamble online without your apps, and you were someone who used to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody had a Bovada account, I think. There are ways. So now you're just driving people who have already gotten a taste of doing this. You're going to drive them further away, and then you don't get any profit from it, no tax dollars from it. You're also going to anger some of these gambling companies who, guess what? They have a lot of say in some of this legislation sometimes, and money and backing for some of these politicians. So there's just so much that doesn't make sense. And what's the difference between putting a bet, like what's the difference between going to Hollywood Casino and putting a bet on the Browns to win 5 games this year? You want to bet they're over. It's like 4.5. You want to say they're going to go over and they're going to win 5 games this year, or Quinshon Judkins scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's still betting. It's still money. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, you already have the strictest laws around, and then you're doing this. Why did you even approve it in the first place?
Yeah. And so I put this out there and my complaints, and then I got the only pushback, and 95% of the comments that I got back were, yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. There were a couple people that came back at me and said, well, it's really the young male sports bettors, the 21 to 25 to 20, whatever, the young sports bettors that are getting addicted to this, and they're losing their money, and issues are happening, and things like that. And like, my response is, yes, it sucks, but we have to be responsible for ourselves at some point, right? At some point, we've got to put it on ourselves. The resources are out there; they really are. If you got a problem, there's a number we say it just about every break here on the money, and there's so many resources out there that I just don't understand. I get that there are people that have been affected by it, the negative effects of sports gambling. I get it. But it also it also brings people together. Like, I was out at an event on Wednesday, and it was at a golf club, and we were all talking about Masters betting, and the entire room, everyone just wanted to know who are you taking this week, who are you betting on, what's your make the cut parlay. Like, it brings people together, and there's a lot of benefits, I believe, to it as well, and the entertainment to it. It does go too far with some people, but there are resources to help those people.
Let me talk about your younger sports bettor, and you say 21, 22, whatever. Those young people are old enough to make an adult decision like joining the military.
Yeah.
If they're old enough to make adult decisions, then they are old enough to deal with adult consequences. And I understand that addiction in this is real, but the resources are there to get them help. Maybe put more money into the resources to get these people help. Another thing I will say is, what about alcohol?
Yeah.
And weed and drugs? Those things can be addictive too, especially to young people. And those are like the building blocks and the foundation of them being addicted to those kind of substances. Last I checked, we are making drug laws easier and easier and passing to make them legal. So what's the difference here? Like, are we going to ban Budweiser ads during games because we're worried about young people getting addicted? They just opened a brand new cannabis shop across the corner from my house, Caddy Corner. Well, what is that doing to the young 18, 21-year-old person?
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be an argument, but it makes no sense. And I think it all goes back to, we have to have personal accountability. I know when things happen, it's never our fault, and we want to blame someone else. But there's got to be some personal accountability in this.
So again, this is very unlikely to pass, right? This is, again, some lawmakers that came out with these two different bills to overhaul the sports gambling system in Ohio. Again, suggesting no online bets, ban on in-game betting, limit wagers to $100, no parlay bets, all that stuff. That's out there. And we're done talking about it during this show, because guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about Ohio State football. Ooh. We're going to talk about spring game. We're going to talk about it being Masters Sunday. We're going to talk about your Blue Jackets making their way to the playoffs. We're going to get into all of that next. 2 minutes. This is On the Money.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
T-Bone and Tyvus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Scotty Vegas is still offering player props at his kids' soccer games. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Welcome back to On the Money, Ohio State. It is game week, guys. Spring game in just 6 days. So let's go over the Ohio State betting odds that are available out there right now that you can take. Ohio State is plus 650 to win the national championship. They're right there in the odds with Notre Dame, who is 6-1. Conference championship odds, Big Ten. Ohio State is the favorite to win the conference at plus 190. Indiana's plus 250. Oregon is 3-1. The over-under season win total, and this has gotten a lot of buzz in the offseason, the over-under season win total for Ohio State is 9.5 games. Now, please note the juice on that over-under is minus 165. So if you wanted to take over 9.5 wins for Ohio State, you are paying minus 165 as far as the juice on that one. There's also an odds available on the Ohio State-Texas game. Ohio State's a 2.5-point dog as we sit here today. On April 12th. That game is September 12th, so we're still months away, but Ohio State is plus 2.5 on that road game at Texas. And then Heisman Trophy odds out there, guys. Julian Sayin, 11-1. Jeremiah Smith, 14-1. The favorites right now are Arch Manning and C.J. Carr, Texas and Notre Dame's quarterbacks. Guys, so it's spring game week. And the spring practices have been interesting, right? You were dealing with a lot of injuries and guys sitting out the spring practice. But I'm curious for you guys, what was kind of the most interesting thing that we've seen through spring practices for the first few weeks? And then I'll tell you mine, which kind of deals more with the coaching staff. But what about you, Ryan?
I think it's interesting how Ryan Day, you can tell he's frustrated with the running back room, and that's understandable when you've got your top two running backs, Bo Jackson and Isaiah West out, and then a young freshman who may be the most explosive player on the team. Not the best player, but the guy who has some breakaway home run ability. Legend Bay, who they've already talked about a little bit, has been banged up and missed some time. And then you also have the offensive line where you've got some guys banged up. Phillip Daniels and Austin Saraveld, it sounds like, are not going to play again in this spring. So they're moving guys around. Ian Moore's a guy whose name you've heard a lot. No Josh Padilla in the spring either. So that offensive line in the running game, maybe not up to par right now with where they would want it to be due to injuries. I also think it's been interesting. You're losing two big-time players in that linebacker room, in Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. But it seems like they're going to be okay in this linebacker room. Peyton Pierce continues to grow, and he's a guy that James Laurinaitis has talked about before he even got on the team. Christian Allegro has come in, and it sounds like he's the real deal from Wisconsin. You heard Ryan Day this past week talk about T.J. Alford and say he's a guy that's going to play a lot of football this year. Garrett Stover was an Iron Buckeye, and dude looks like a monster, totally transformed his body. And they're doing all this without Riley Pettijohn, who we got to see on the field last year as a true freshman. So I think this linebacker room this year is going to be fascinating to see, because how could they not take a step back, right? Two guys that are top 10 picks in the NFL draft, but yet it sounds like they're still going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah, absolutely. Isaiah, for you for this spring, what's been kind of the most interesting headline to you?
Kind of trying to fill in that final wide receiver role, that number 3 spot. Like, we've had so many people come in with Devin McEwen, Kyle Parker, obviously Chris Henry Jr. coming in as a highly touted freshman. There's Brandon Ennis take the next step into that strong number 2 receiver role, and then we kind of rotate in that 3rd spot. It's been really interesting to see the storylines come out, because there's so much about Chris Henry Jr., but we've had so many great players that have transferred in, including Kyle Parker, Devin McEwen, that are ready to step in and play. How does this room shake out? Because last season, we saw Carnell Tate, We saw Jeremiah Smith, and we saw Brandon in this, and we didn't see much of anybody else. And this season, I expect pretty similar. Like, we're probably going to see 3 wide receivers, and there's going to be people that we're talking about right now that won't see those reps in the fall. And it's going to be interesting to see if maybe it's Brock Boyd who takes that next step, or who's it going to be.
That's what I was going to say. Don't forget about Brock Boyd, who was the first true freshman to lose his black stripe this year, and people were raving about.
Yeah, and by the way, I've pulled up the weather app here, and because it's always interesting on spring game day. So if you get good weather, it's like you get a ton of people at the shoe, right? And so I pulled up the weather app, and next Saturday, we're looking at a high of 80 and a low of 61 with no rain. I mean,
you know what that sounds like to me?
What?
Over 80,000 in the shoe for a spring game.
Yes, I hope so. And that was going to be my next question, you guys, is as far as the spring game, how much interest do you guys have in it? For me, it's always been kind of like, I'll watch a little bit. I don't take a whole lot from watching the spring game, but I'm always interested in seeing how the quarterbacks throw the ball. And so seeing Tavian St. Clair was like the one thing that I'm like, okay, let's see a little bit of action out of him. But with the guys that are going to be out, you just don't get a lot out of that game. I'm curious as far as your interest level and excitement level for actually watching the game. What I am excited about is on a good weather day, another opportunity for Buckeye fans to get together and get out to the shoe. And my favorite thing about spring game is the number of families that actually get out and bring a bunch of little kids to get into the shoe that wouldn't normally be able to pay the amount of money to go to a regular season game.
Yep, and that's one of the things we complain about the Grambling game, but that's another one where you can get, families that may not always be able to get out to a game. They can get tickets on the secondary market for cheaper and get their kids in there. So I always like those games a little bit for that. I still pay attention a little bit because I do think Ohio State still plays a little bit of football, especially when you get those second string guys in there. Like, are they going to do much with Julian saying? No, probably not. But when Tavian St. Clair gets in there, and when Luke Fahey gets in there, when Justin Martin gets in there, maybe we'll see a little more of the looks. And so I do like that Ohio State still gets it a little bit in the fact that they play a little bit of real football. It's not a lot of real football, but it's still some. And I'm one of those people that I still believe, even on that, even though it's kind of like a glorified practice, it's still game conditions in the shoe in front of people. I'm still somebody that thinks game reps in some form matter. And I think in that setting, they're even more important than a practice when you have the atmosphere a little bit.
No doubt. Playing in front of people, right? I mean, some of these guys will do that for the very first time in the shoe, and I think that's pretty cool. For me, it's the Tavian St. Clair, and I want to see what he can do. Isaiah, what's the most interesting thing going into the spring game to you?
The one thing for me is just seeing the speed. Like, speed always translates, and so you look at guys like Devin McEwen, Turbo Rogers, Legend Bay. Like, I want to see them on the field and just see what the speed looks like. You remember when Travion Henderson, his first couple carries as a freshman, what'd you immediately notice? The speed is real. Speed always translates. You can tell that right away. So those are the ones you look for. For me, you watch the game. If a guy is blazing fast off the rip, I mean, you just know that that's one thing that'll translate during the season immediately.
One other OSU football note that came out this week that was kind of interesting. Jeremiah Smith talking about what he could have made to transfer out of Ohio State and how it could have been north of over $10 million for Jeremiah Smith to transfer. And his quote is, but that's not how I operate. He's staying at Ohio State, and it makes sense. And he's going to get a lot of money at Ohio State. We've kind of seen some of the numbers that we think that he's going to be making at Ohio State. So it's not that he's going to be hurting for money, but to turn down $10 million potentially out there. Did that number surprise you at all, Ryan?
No, it didn't, because as you mentioned, you hear some of the rumors of what he's getting here at Ohio State, and it's not that far off.
No.
Now, it's not $10 million, but it's not that far off, and I don't know, Scotty, if what the number that we get rumored here at Ohio State that he's getting, I don't know if that includes his national Adidas deal in there or not. I don't know if those things are thrown in there or whatnot, and it doesn't surprise me. And we kind of talked about this this week. Some of us did. Like, if North Carolina would have been interested in trying to get a Danny Hurley or a Dusty May, and it sounds like Dusty May has signed a new extension and deal with Michigan, and Danny Hurley's going to get a bump too. Like, Danny Hurley was getting $8 million. What would you have to give him if you're North Carolina to get him to leave UConn? And not only that, but like get it to where UConn's not going to match it. So you'd have to reset the market, right? If you were North Carolina and you wanted to get Danny Hurley, I feel like you'd have had to throw in $15 million at his feet. Now that would have reset the college coaching market with a deal like that, but that's what you would have to do to get UConn to maybe balk at it for a second, which I don't think they would have, but maybe balk at it. So if you know, like if we hear rumors, they're hearing rumors too. And they're talking to, they probably know what Jeremiah is getting at Ohio State. So they have to make it worth his while to leave there in Ohio State, not to try to match it.
Yep. And we're going to continue to talk money in Ohio State. We're just going to flip sports a little bit because Ohio State basketball, active, very active in the transfer portal over the last couple days. Do we like the moves? Do we not like the moves? Are we expecting a lot more? We're going to get into that next. This is On the Money.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Aviators football returns Friday, April 17th, 8 p.m. kickoff. The first 5,000 fans through the gates take home a free team flag. Grab your tickets now at uflaviators.com. United we fly.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Colin Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Oh, Mikey, did you know something new is coming and it's right around the corner?
What is it?
Now you can stay while you play. It's the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel. It's coming June 12th, and we want you to celebrate with us as we open the doors with a can't-miss concert and festival.
And here's something for you this month. It's the Win Your Way drawings on select Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can score $100,000. Plus, coming in May, it's the Hollywood Tribute Concert Series.
Ooh, must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
Wrinkles, gray hair, and hearing loss are common signs of getting older. But being short of breath, having tightness in your chest, coughing, and wheezing are not. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you may be one of the millions of people who are living with a condition called COPD but don't know it. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years of better breathing to your life. For more information, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
Day 1, the hardest day. The day you hear,
This is a type of blood cancer.
at the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey folks, it's game day and the betting's gonna be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right, you gotta pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Unlock a $300 cashback reward when you spend $3,000 with a new Visa from Kemba Financial Credit Union, giving your budget a little extra breathing room. Apply at Kemba.org. Offer ends June 30th, 2026. Restrictions apply. Variable rate product. Equal opportunity lender. Qualified spend limited to the first 90 days.
Enough already.
We can do more.
Enough already. We can find a cure.
Enough already.
We can do better for our kids.
Enough already. We are relying on you.
We can come together to support Children's Cancer Research Fund, a national nonprofit dedicated to ending childhood cancer that is on the front line of breakthroughs. Because
it's enough already.
Go to childrenscancer.org today.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yuengling drafts for only $4. Dave Biddle named his own dog Parlay. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Well, my nightmare came true. Michigan basketball won the national championship on Monday. Hated every second of it. In for Dave Biddle today, it's Ryan Baker. I'm Scotty Vegas. Isaiah Jacob behind the glass. This is On the Money. Guys, so Michigan wins the national championship, and in my head, in my optimistic head, it was, okay, well, last time Michigan won the national championship in football, Ohio State ponied up and got aggressive in the transfer portal, paid a lot of money, brought in Caleb Downs, brought in Quinshon Judkins immediately after the championship game, brought in Will Howard, and, oh, by the way, then went on to win a national championship. So my thought is, okay, all right, Michigan, unfortunately, wins a national championship. It's time for Ohio State basketball to pony up some money and bring in some big-time recruits. Now, they did bring in a couple name recruits over the last couple days. Is Andre Yelovich. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, from Kentucky, a big, 5 points a game last year, 4 rebounds, played at Kentucky, and he will be a front court piece for Ohio State. And then they bring in Justin Pippen. Yes, Scottie Pippen's son. And Justin Pippen actually played at Cal last year, averaged 14 points a game, just about 4 rebounds and 5 assists. From what I've read and what I've seen, pretty good defensive player. Looks like they might put Pippen in as a potential replacement for Bruce, as a point guard / combo guard. Ohio State's been... It sounds like Ohio State over the last week or so has been in the running for a lot of these big-time transfer portal guys, something that they really haven't been in previous years. So you add Pippen, you bring in Yelovich. Your initial thoughts so far on the portal action?
So, real quick, you're not replacing Bruce. Right? There's nobody they were going to get in the transfer portal that was going to, and I've been as hard on Bruce as anyone, but you're just not replacing that. You're going to have to replace him by committee. And I think your biggest replacement for Bruce is Junie Mobley. taking a next step and being a number one option on this team if he can be. So when I first heard the name Justin Pippen, I was like, he's at Michigan. Well, he was at Michigan for his freshman year. He played there. He didn't play much. He transferred to Cal last year. You mentioned the numbers, and those numbers are solid. Just over 14 points a game, almost 5 assists and 4 rebounds. Now, I didn't watch a lot of Cal basketball last year, and when I say a lot, I mean none. So I don't know what Cal's schedule was. Yeah. I know they made it, second round of the NIT or something like that. So he played a little bit of postseason basketball. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to be. I just remember that he went to Michigan and didn't do much there as a freshman, but he was a freshman. So I'm not sure. A freshman on Dusty May's first team. So that was a pretty good basketball team, and Dusty brought in a lot of guys that he was already familiar with. So I'm not sure about the Justin Pippen move. I think the one thing I heard from some people that are a little more locked into Ohio State basketball than I am is they're afraid that this move prevents them from getting a bigger name guard. Like I know the guy from BYU, Young, a lot of people were interested, and it sounds like Ohio State was interested in him. Does that keep Ohio State out of the running for him now? Who knows? So they're worried about this getting in the way of something else. The Yelovich move is interesting because he started 18 SEC games last year, but he only played about 16 minutes a game for Kentucky. He's a guy that kind of reminds me, when you watch his highlights, a little bit of Christoph Tilley, and the fact that he can be outside and shoot a little bit, is pretty good with slashing and pick and roll. However, I do believe he's a little better around the bucket than Christoph Tilley was. So I do like that. I'm very intrigued with what Ohio State does in the front court here, because we know Amari Bynum and we know Anthony Thompson are going to be two of those players in the front court. Power forward in your 3 spot. Both of them 6'9", both of them very long. What do they do at that other spot? Because Josh Ojonwuna is still on this roster right now, a kid that transferred in last year from Baylor but had a knee injury and didn't play at all for them, obviously. He's a guy that's probably more of a defensive and a rebounder type guy. I don't know how much you're going to get from him on the offensive side. And you still have Ivan Yagovin, who, I don't know, if you're bringing in Yelovich and you've got these other guys in Ojonwuna, I don't know how much Yagovin's going to play. These moves don't move the needle a lot for me. And we were talking before the show. You're banking a lot on Anthony Thompson, and I get it. He's a McDonald's All-American, a 5-star recruit. You're banking a lot on him for this team to take the next step. I feel like right now with these two guys, and they still have more guys to add, I'm sure, I feel like you're in the same boat next year as you were this year.
I think that they are banking more on Amari Bynum taking a big step. Like we saw his potential. And I think if he continues that and takes the big step from freshman year to sophomore year, from a good player to a superstar, which I do believe that Amari Bynum could be, and if you see Mobley go from being a good guard to being a great guard, then you could see the moves of these are complementary guys that fit the system more so. Because I do, like, one of the criticisms I have for Jake Diebler from last year is, you know, he talks about wanting to speed up the game and run fast and go fast. And they didn't necessarily have the right pieces to go fast.
Well, and they ended up not having the depth either in the long run.
And I say that because you had Tilley and Nagovin, who were not athletic, fast-moving bigs, right? So, but you're right. So let's see how this thing plays out. Let's hope more money gets spent because you also need to work on the depth. I love the core 3. I love the Thompson, Bynum, Mobley core 3, and now you got to build around it. All right. The absolute nightmare was Monday, Michigan winning the national championship in basketball. To me, that was as bad as it gets. I always thought that Ohio State hoops would win a national championship before Michigan hoops did in my lifetime. And I know that Michigan won it all in '89, but they went through such a long stretch of not being good there for a while that I thought OSU hoops was going to get one. But it was the ultimate nightmare for me on Monday night. I want to go around the table here and get your ultimate sports nightmare for your team, whatever it may be. It can be whatever it is. I want to hear it out of you first, Ryan.
So I saw one of them back in 1992 when Ohio State and Jimmy Jackson, who was a team that probably could have won a national championship, lost in the Elite Eight to Michigan in the Fab Five. You'd beaten them twice during the regular season. You get there, the Elite Eight, one step away from the Final Four, and you lose. Now, I know that's not the end, and that's not the Final Four. It's not the national championship game. But for young me, that was devastating because that was my team. That Ohio State basketball team was like the Blue Jackets to me. Right now, I have two scenarios with the Blue Jackets that would kill me. Number one, you lose in an Eastern Conference Finals to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that game-winning goal was scored by Igor Chinnikov, who was a guy here who showed a lot of potential but never put it together. You make the trade this year to bring in Mason Marchment, and then you trade him off to the Pittsburgh Penguins. That would be a nightmare. Here's number two, and this could be anybody, but Elvis Merzlikins, who has just maddening for Blue Jackets fans over the years because you see potential and then you see just absolute nightmare goaltending, both situations with him. He moves on, and then whatever team he moves on to, he beats you in the Stanley Cup final.
Oh, gosh.
That would be brutal.
Yes, that would be brutal. Let's take a quick break. I don't want to rush Isaiah, and my nightmare scenario is absolutely disgusting, and we're going to get into that. And we've got some people in the chat that are chiming in with their nightmare scenario. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into our ultimate sports nightmares. This is On the Money.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. News, special guests, and everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turns, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously. The best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Yesterday in MLB action, the Reds rolled the Angels 7-3. Ellie De La Cruz led the way with 3 hits. Spencer Steer added a solo home run. They're back in action today at 1:40 to close out the series. In Cleveland, the Guardians also with a win. They beat the Braves 6-0. Guards third baseman Jose Ramirez had a solo home run in the first that made him the first Cleveland player to go deep against all 29 MLB teams. The Guardians will take on the Braves tonight again at 7:20. The Blue Jackets in the win column yesterday 5-2 versus the Canadians. With 2 to go, they take on the Bruins tonight at 6 as the CBJ continues to chase the Flyers for a late season playoff bid. In the NBA, the Cavaliers wrap up their season today against the Washington Wizards at 6 p.m. The Cavs are locked into the 4th seed in the playoffs, so they will not have any starters or rotational players suited up. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Some people golf on Sunday mornings. Some people place bets on the people playing golf on Sunday mornings. This is On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
It is On the Money. Dave Biddle is on vacation, so my good friend Ryan Baker is in for Dave. And of course, we got Isaiah Jacobs on the control. Isaiah Jacob on the controls. And guys, we've been talking about nightmares in sports, and we're going to get more into that. However, before we get into the more nightmares, let's throw a party. Let's call it the Parlay Party. Hit it, Isaiah. All right, the Parlay Party is where you can celebrate anything you want. And I'm going to start out by, guys, it's Masters Sunday. We have an incredible leaderboard. We got Cam Young, Rory McIlroy at the top. We got the Columbus living and connections with Jason Day. We've got Scotty Scheffler just 4 shots back. Justin Rose, Shane Lowry in the picture. This is going to be a fun Masters Sunday. Can't wait for that. The other thing I'm celebrating is, guys, last night the weather was so nice. It was a little chilly in the evening, and so I decided let's have our first fire of the year. And so we had a big family get together, and we set fire, and we lit some our old Christmas tree that went up in flames, and we burnt a lot of stuff and had a lot of fun. So guys, that's what I'm celebrating. Ryan, what are you celebrating on this Masters Sunday?
Man, that fire this time of year, like the beginning of spring, or then you get into the fall, those fires are undefeated. I love
think
those.
I still smell a little bit of the campfire on me.
Well, if you would have took a shower this morning,
well, I should have.
Maybe that would have taken care of that. First things first, I have to celebrate, as you mentioned, is Masters Sunday, and I'm celebrating that I'm not. It's whoever it was. This isn't a shot at Rory, but I'm celebrating that we don't have that huge lead that we had going into yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like this was and I don't believe I ever thought that, because there was still a lot of golf left to be played, 36 holes left to be played. But I'm celebrating that we come into today, and there is a handful of guys here that we believe, I think 7, you said, Scotty, that you believe has a realistic shot of winning this thing today. I'm glad that it's not a 6 or 7 stroke lead right now. I'm glad that there's some guys bunched up there, and hopefully we get a big finish. I am celebrating that the Columbus Blue Jackets got a big win last night, and not just that they got a win, because they got a win against the Detroit Red Wings earlier in the week. But I'm celebrating that it was a win where they looked like they did a while back. They actually looked like the Columbus Blue Jackets that we saw in those first 22-ish games of the Rick Bowness era. The forwards got off the schneid. Kirill Marchenko with a goal. Sean Monahan with a goal. Charlie Coyle with a couple goals. Boone Jenner with a goal. The forwards got back to playing. And then that leads us into today, the game against the Boston Bruins over at Nationwide. It is Fan Appreciation Day. The Fan is going to be out there on the plaza. I'm going to be hosting a little trivia contest. We're going to have a signed stick to give away. So that is going to be fun. It could be do or die tonight for the Jackets, but It's what you wanted, and you wouldn't have thought back on January 11th when you fired Dean Evison and brought in Rick Bowness, and you were last place in the Eastern Conference. I know it's a little disappointing now because you've had this stretch of play where it wasn't good, where you did kind of control your own destiny. Now you're kind of hoping for help, but you would have dreamed of this when they made the coaching change, and now you're here. Very exciting. Hopefully it's a great crowd today at Nationwide.
For me today, you guys hit on the Masters, you hit on the Blue Jackets. So it's the final regular season game for the Cavaliers. They're the 4 seed in the East, getting ready to start the NBA playoffs, which is one of my favorite times of year. And then also, going with the NBA playoffs, baseball back in action. Seeing the Guardians, of course, first in the Central, per usual, back on top. I'd love to see the Guards doing well.
Per usual,
the Guardians at the top of the Central, no matter what year it is, they're always up there. So it's nice sitting on a patio, hanging out, watching baseball. And so I'm loving it right now, loving the Guardians. So that's what I'm celebrating.
Okay, Isaiah, I'm a little disappointed in you because you, as a rookie, took home our NCAA tournament player pool, won north of $500 doing it, and you didn't even include that in your parlay party?
It feels like so long ago, Scotty. I've celebrated so many wins since then.
Oh!
It's nice to be able to move on from the ones I had last week. But yes, I did. Scotty invited me, which was a terrible idea. Thanks for the invite.
You're hooked now, aren't you?
I am. It was fantastic. When you win, of course you're hooked. If I had paid out somebody else, if I had paid out Scotty, I'd be like, I'm out of here.
I paid out. That's why I don't want to do them anymore.
Ryan went about 0 for 3. And
I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Just like on the golf course, if he's not happy with himself after 9 holes, he leaves.
You've got to preserve your mental health, Scotty. You got to preserve it. Hey, something else real quick going on today. Yeah. Columbus Destroyers, or Columbus Aviators. I keep calling them the Destroyers. The Aviators are down in Dallas taking on the Renegades today at noon. Hopefully the Aviators, in some tough circumstances here, they're going to be doing it without their head coach. But hopefully they get their first win today.
Oh, tough circumstances. Yes, you're right. So absolutely a lot going on, man. This is, it's funny because you get through the NCAA tournament and you're like, oh, there will be a little bit of a lull. There's no lull. No. Like we got Blue Jackets and we got NHL playoffs coming up. We got NBA playoffs on the horizon. Reds and Guards. You got the NFL draft, which we're going to do a fun draft party out at the casino for. Yeah, there is no slow season anymore. Maybe like mid-June. That's when we get slow. But
what's the draft party? Is that on the first round Thursday night?
Yeah. We're going to be out at the Hollywood Casino. We are going to do a digital show, and it will be it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be that first round of the NFL draft on that Thursday. So can't wait for that. But what we were talking about last hour,
from parties to nightmares.
I got to tell you guys, I had the weirdest nightmare last night.
Oh boy.
It was actually, and this is really weird. Tito was in my dream. Jeff Tito Thidoff.
Gosh.
And for
don't do this to the listeners.
Yeah, should I
we don't need to do this.
No, I'm going to say, but I'm going to keep it real quick. I had this nightmare for whatever reason. So my basement flooded about 4 or 5 years ago. And terrible situation. I came back from vacation and had about a foot of water in my basement, finished basement. And so from that moment, I've always had this fear of it happening again. Got everything replaced and all that stuff. So last night I had this dream that my basement was starting to flood, and Tito and I and one other buddy were in my basement, like bailing water. Like we were just trying to bail water and dump it into the sump pump and all that stuff. Like it was the weirdest dream ever. And I don't know why, but it was like me scooping up water, handing the bucket to Tito handing it out to another buddy, and then pouring the water out. So strange. That was a nightmare. But now we're going to get back to our sports nightmares.
I'm surprised Tito didn't drop the bucket.
Right on his foot. All right. So, Ryan, last hour, remind us of your ultimate sports nightmare.
So, there was 2 that involved the Blue Jackets, and one would be them getting to the Eastern Conference Finals and then losing to their rival, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Yegor Chinnikov, who you traded to them this year, gets the game-winning goal in that. Or sometime eventually when the Blue Jackets and Elvis Merzlikins part ways, he goes to a Western Conference team, and then he beats you in the Stanley Cup final.
Ugh, yes. Both of those suck. All right, Isaiah, your worst sports nightmare.
I think for me also, it's between 2. One of them would be I can always kind of spin doctor. I can spin doctor one loss. I can't spin doctor 2 losses to the same team. If we lost to Michigan, that final game of the year, and then somehow, some way found ourselves in the playoff, and it wouldn't even have to be the championship game. Just any game in the playoff, if they knocked us out after already beating us once, that would be my worst sports nightmare because, yet again, I can always spin doctor 1 loss. But if they beat you twice, I cannot spin doctor that. So that would be one of my sports nightmares.
Oh, that is disgusting.
It'd be disgusting. And the other one for me, and this is a long time one that I've been having now for the past 6 years or so, is any scenario where the Cleveland Browns make it to the playoffs and they are knocked out by none other than Baker Mayfield.
I did not think you were going there.
I thought he was going Steelers.
I did too.
I lean between any AFC North opponent. The Steelers would be the first one that I would hate the most, but the Baker sting, that would be, I think, worse.
That would be salt in the wound, especially to a lot of Browns fans. And I don't know if I'm a Baker bro, but I would definitely have rather had Baker the past 5 years than what's gone on there.
Gosh, and guys, on Monday night.
God, that's a good one.
And I about turned the game off, but I kept it on. I just sitting there in pain. But watching Roddy Gale standing next to Dusty May and singing Hail to the Victors.
How about that putback dunk? Oh, my goodness.
You mean that over the back?
Yes, you're right, Bake. Sorry.
And I do want to the officials sucked in that game. But anyway, the nightmare of seeing Roddy Gale standing next to Dusty May was just absolute pain. It was pain for me. I'm just sitting there. The room is completely dark except for the TV. I'm sitting there. I'm all by myself. I wanted to cry. It sucked. It brought me down so low.
It was gross.
The only thing that I could think of that would be the worst nightmare is if Michigan and Ohio State made it to a Final Four or a national championship, and Ohio State lost to Michigan on like a buzzer beater, like a Evan Turner half-court shot type buzzer beater, and Michigan does it to Ohio State to knock them out in the Final Four in the national championship. That would be absolute awful. Here's a couple from our YouTube chat. Craig says, ultimate sports nightmare, seeing the Cleveland Browns play in a dome. Football in a dome belongs more of a show and less of a football game.
I'm not going to lie, and I don't know if I am. I think I'm in the minority. I do love football in the elements. I know people hate it, and they say it changes the game and it slows. I love football in the snow.
I do too, Bake. And for me as a Browns fan, I love the walk down to the Browns Stadium right on the lake. Like that walk across the bridge, like you'd love to take your kids there. It's such a fun time. The dome's going to be different. I think the dome will be great probably for the Browns, but also I'm going to miss the old stadium like crazy.
Chimdy also checks in with his worst sports nightmare. His says,
Chimdy Cheekwa.
Mine would be now the impossible situation of us playing Michigan 3 times in one football season and going 0-3. So you would lose obviously the game, the end of the regular season. Then he's saying losing in the Big Ten championship game and then losing in the playoff.
Yeah, that'd be pretty gross.
That is really gross.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
A lot of nightmare scenarios out there. We saw one of those nightmares happen last Monday. All right, when we come back, we've been teasing this. I want to get more into it. Blue Jackets odds to make the playoffs. Let's look at their game today, the odds on the game today. Let's look at their odds to find their way in. That is next on The Money.
Big Voice Guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Spring into savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, drive your new Hyundai with payments as low as $94 per month for a 2-year lease. Get spring lease savings on every model from Elantra to Palisade. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit. Payment on 26 Elantra SC, $39.95 down plus tax title first month payment. 7,500 miles per year and $430.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Kroger makes it easy to save on fuel. Just redeem the points you've earned to save up to $1 a gallon at the pump. See store for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Colin Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Oh, Mikey, did you know something new is coming and it's right around the corner?
What is it?
Now you can stay while you play. It's the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel. It's coming June 12th, and we want you to celebrate with us as we open the doors with a can't-miss concert and festival.
And here's something for you this month. It's the Win Your Way drawings on select Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can score $100,000. Plus, coming in May, it's the Hollywood Tribute Concert Series.
Ooh, must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey there, friends. It's Bill Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you, because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Hey folks, it's game day and the betting's gonna be intense, Drew. You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible. That's right, you gotta pause before you play. Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky. And pausing to set limits is an all-star move. That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop. Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
When you take pride in your property, clean, professional-grade cut says it all. This spring, don't just mow the lawn. Cultivate a yard you're proud to own. Get the Bobcat ZT 2000 with payments as low as $99 a month. Or go pro with the Bobcat ZT 6000 for as little as $218 a month. Bobcat Enterprises has the mower you need. Visit bobcatent.com to find your local dealer, because you deserve a Bobcat.
Get eco.
ECO.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Something is wrong.
Something's wrong?
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Get eco.
ECO.
Thumping and bumping and jumping.
What is?
But it's not pumping.
Get eco.
ECO. Jerry?
Yeah, Aaron.
Are we talking about your sump pump?
Yeah. Isn't it great?
Isn't what great?
I like the sound of it. Sump pump. Sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
Get eco.
ECO. Jerry, can you keep a secret?
Aaron, I'm as silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
I kind of like to say it too.
Hey, I should invent a sump pump that lets you know when it's working.
How would it do that?
It would say, sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
That's a great idea, Jerry, but a sump pump should be exactly like you.
How so?
As silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
Get eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Bishop and Friends.
I finally make out what she's saying. It's a mouse! It's a mouse! I'm like, okay, calm down. What do you mean it's a mouse? There's a mouse in the house. There's a mouse in the house.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Cellar.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It will be another gorgeous day with plenty of sunshine and temperatures soaring into the low 80s by Sunday afternoon. Tonight, we will see an increase in clouds and winds will start to pick up. Lows fall down into the low 60s. Rain chances do start to move into the region by Monday morning. We'll see those scattered showers continue through much of the week. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan. Scotty Vegas can't even pronounce most of the names of the tennis players he bets on. He doesn't care as long as they win. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
All right, huge game for the Blue Jackets this afternoon. And our good buddy here, Ryan Baker's going to be out there doing a trivia contest. It's Fifth Line Appreciation Day, right? So we're going to see a lot of people out on that plaza, and Ryan is going to have a contest and give away an autographed Blue Jackets hockey stick. So that's going to be very cool. What time about that? About 4:15-ish on the plaza?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look. I wanted to say 4:45, but that's probably too close. So, yeah, I think 4:15.
Awesome. So that's going to be very cool. All right, here's the opportunity. So over the last several weeks, we have been on the money, been looking at the odds on the Blue Jackets to make the playoffs, and kind of started this probably, Isaiah, about 5 or 6 weeks ago that we started looking, and, you know, it's been going up and down and up and down. And at one point I remember seeing the Blue Jackets at about minus 450 to make the playoffs. That was probably about 4 weeks ago. And as we sit here today, 2 games left, Blue Jackets to make the playoffs. I want you guys to guess on what the odds are for them to get in. If you have not seen it, what do you think between the two of you? Can you get close on the number on Jackets to get in?
Right now, to get in, it's got to be about plus 215.
I was thinking 300.
Okay, go right in the middle of you two because it's actually plus 255.
Okay.
It's plus 255 that the Blue Jackets can find their way in. The no on can they make the playoffs is minus 320 today. Now, big opportunity. We're talking about must win Boston, and games a little after 6 o'clock. Blue Jackets minus 150 on the money line. Boston plus 125. Ryan, you have been following this team so closely. You go to just about every game, every home game. Talk to me about what you want to see out of the Blue Jackets because you felt encouraged from their last game.
Yeah, what you saw from them in Montreal last night, and again, it wasn't perfect. There were some warts there. But what you saw from them as far as playing fast, playing aggressive, you saw more of that than you have here recently. So that's what you want to see. The last time you played Boston here in Nationwide Arena, it was a gut-wrencher. It might have been one of the games that really hurt you in this because you played about as good of a first period as you could, and you had a 3-0 lead, and then you end up losing that game in overtime. Just gut-wrenching. So more of that. Foot on the gas, physical hockey. You got nothing to lose, right? You've got to win these. I guess you don't have to because if the Flyers lose 2, you only need to win 1 to tie them. But you have people behind you, too, here. And you have the Washington Capitals behind you, and you have the New York Islanders behind you so that are pushing there. So let's get 2 wins. You got nothing to lose. I need to see more of what you did last night in Montreal, and hopefully they can feed off the energy of the crowd today and Fan Appreciation Day and get that done.
And while you are on the plaza giving away the autographed hockey stick and then heading into Nationwide Arena, my butt is going to be in front of a TV watching the Masters. So we are, of course, approaching the final round, and it's set up so awesome in the fact that this leaderboard is what it is. We were a little afraid on yesterday morning, thinking that Rory McIlroy is just going to run away with this thing. He ain't running away with it. At least he didn't run away with it yesterday. So now we are tied with Cam Young and Rory McIlroy going into the Sunday final round. 1 shot back is Sam Burns. 2 shots back is Shane Lowry. 3 back is Jason Day and Justin Rose. And then 4 back, you see Scotty Scheffler just kind of hanging in there. I do want to give the updated odds for today. So to win, Rory is your favorite at plus 150. Cam Young, who is tied for the lead, is plus 260. He's never won a major before. However, he did win the Players' Championship. He is my pick. He is who I have a majority of my money on from before the tournament was Cam Young, and it's sitting there. Sam Burns, who is just 1 shot back, is plus 660. He's been in contention in big tournaments before. He almost won the U.S. Open last year, but he's right there, 1 back, plus 660 in the odds. Scotty Scheffler, 9-1 right now to win. He's 4 back. He has 2 Masters victories. He's lurking right there. He has the opportunity to post a score, sit in the clubhouse, and hope that that score holds. Shane Lowry, only 2 shots back. He's a major winner. He won the Open Championship. He is he is 12.5 to 1. You got Justin Rose, who is 14 to 1. He's 3 back. He lost in a playoff last year. And then you've got Jason Day at 22 to 1. He is also 3 back. I mean, this is just set up for an incredible Sunday. Again, my money is on Cam Young. I'm going to stick with that pick. I think Cam Young gets it done. I don't like how Rory played yesterday. I love how Cam played. I think Cam winning that Players' Championship gives him the confidence that he can finish off a big tournament like this. So at plus 250, plus 260, those are the odds that I'm seeing on Cam. I still think that's pretty good value. What is your pick? You have, let's say I give you $100 on this Sunday, Ryan, to spend any way you want. Who are you taking to win?
I'm picking Scotty Scheffler.
Okay.
I think he's the guy I'm most confident in being an under par round today and going low. I don't have confidence in Cam Young being his first time, that he's going to go low enough to overcome. And I know he won it last year, and maybe it's different, but I've seen Rory not do it in a lot of these situations. And you even talked about this, Scotty. He didn't look great yesterday. And you even used the word, might have gotten a little lucky to get out of there at just 1 over par yesterday. So maybe that will be Scotty's bad or Rory's bad round for the tournament. I don't know, but I just really like Scotty Scheffler today.
And the amazing thing with seeing Rory and Young at the top is Rory did have a bad round yesterday. Think about this with Cam Young. He started this tournament. He was 4 over through 9 on Thursday. So, he started the tournament in a huge hole, +4, and then has played unbelievable for the last 2.5 rounds and has this thing at 11 under par. It's going to be a spectacular Sunday. Can't wait to park my button. And as you mentioned, we also have the Columbus Aviators playing this afternoon too. And so that is going on at noon as well. So it's a big Sunday, a lot of action. All right, when we come back, we're going to get into some of the Ohio State Buckeyes and their draft odds. We're going to do that in our This or That segment. That's next in 2 minutes on the Money.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to hit the road with something new from Germain Toyota. Right now, get into a rugged 2026 Toyota Tundra with just 2.99% financing for up to 72 months. Power, performance, and capability ready for every spring adventure. Or cruise into the season with a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for only $299 a month for 36 months and $39.99 due at signing. Fresh deals, fresh rides. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
We ask parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. If you can't find something to bet on, you're not trying hard enough. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
All right, fun Sunday morning. It is, of course, the final round of the Masters. Can't wait to do that. And I'm going to be parking my butt in front of the TV, but I need 2 TVs today. We're going to be watching the Jackets, and we're going to be watching the Masters. What a great Sunday it's going to be. And it's a perfect time for this or that. Isaiah, hit it. All right, guys. My first question to you, this or that. Arvell Reese is going to go number 2 to the Jets in the NFL draft later on this month. Ryan?
So it's either 2 or nothing here, right?
Well, yeah, he's got to go 2 or obviously somewhere else. So are you saying he's going to be 2 or not?
I think this is correct. I think Arvell will go 2 to the Jets. Now, do I think he should? No, because if I was the New York Jets, I have holes everywhere in my roster. I would take Caleb Downs, who I believe is the best player in this draft. And I believe when you take the best player in the draft, you can't go wrong. But I do believe for this question that he will be picked number 2 by the Jets.
Yeah, and guys, I could kind of see David Bailey from Texas Tech going 2 here. But just the buzz on Arvell, it feels like he's the guy. So I'm going to go with Arvell Reese goes number 2.
I agree 100% with Bake. I think that Arvell will go number 2, but the Jets' best pick would be Caleb Downs. Yet again, surefire thing. You need a hit. The Jets need a hit on that defense. Caleb Downs will be a hit. Arvell, I think, is going to be great. But if you wanted a surefire pick, it would be Caleb Downs. Arvell Reese will go 2.
Let me give you guys the odds before you get to your this or that, Ryan. Arvell Reese to go number 2 is -115. David Bailey is -125. Sonny Styles 20-1. Ruben Bain 26-1. Caleb Downs 55-1. Those are the odds on the number 2 pick, which is the Jets.
All right, guys, we've talked a lot this morning about the Masters because it's Masters Sunday, and we've talked a lot about the Columbus Blue Jackets because they have a huge game today against the Boston Bruins, and their season is coming to a close here. So what is more prestigious? A green jacket or a Stanley Cup?
Oh, that's a good question. I am going to go with, because of it being an individual sport and just the number of people that have won it, I'm going to go with the green jacket.
So it's interesting that you said that, because as I was thinking about this, the exact same thought popped into my mind. Is a green jacket is something that you did all on your own.
Yeah.
Plus, I believe you've got to give it back, right? Like you can keep it for a year, but then it stays at Augusta after that. So that they're kind of, and I know Stanley Cup, each player gets just one day with it, but your name is on that cup forever. So I think because it's an individual award, I'm going to go with you, Scotty, maybe surprising some people and say the green jacket.
I think the green jacket as well. When you said prestigious, right? When you said prestigious, I was like, prestigious sounds like the green jacket, just the aura around it, like everything, the whole presentation afterwards. is so incredible. And just like you guys said, the one-on-one, like it's just you putting on the jacket. I'm going to go green jacket as well. So I'm stealing a page out of Scotty's book. This, that, or the other.
Ooh, I like this, that, the other, or the other, or the other, or the other sometimes.
So I was looking back through, and me and some of my buddies were talking about this recently. We're talking all-time Buckeye deep threats. We're not talking receivers. We're talking just being able to catch the ball on a 50-yard bomb. I've got 3 different ones from you, or from a couple different eras here, that had essentially some of the longest receiving yards of reception, right? We've got Devin Smith. Mm-hmm. We've got Chris Olave. And we've got Joey Galloway. Oh. Which one are you guys sending on a streak?
I know Ryan's answer already. Yeah, I'm going to go Joey Galloway. And I keep going through because I was in the stands during 59-0 when Ohio State beat Wisconsin and Cardale was throwing to Devin Smith, and I love Devin Smith and his ability to catch the deep ball. But Joey Galloway and that speed was just incredible. And one of the first memories I have watching Ohio State football is with Joey Galloway. With Joey Galloway, so I'm going to go with Galloway.
So, Joey Galloway is probably on my top 5 list of Buckeyes any sport all time. I just always remember as a kid that picture of Joey Galloway running into the end zone and the camera's looking up to him and he's got the crop top and the number 7 and he was so fast. And when I first started doing fantasy, NFL fantasy drafts, Joey Galloway was always someone I would have. I don't think there's any question, though, the best deep threat in Ohio State history is Devin Smith. And you know I love Chris Olave, too. He's on my top 5 list of Buckeyes all time. But, man, Devin Smith was a one-trick pony, but that one trick was so good. And I think it's one of the things that made that trip to the national championship so special and maybe what made it perfect for Cardale to be the quarterback because he could turn and hand it to Zeke, or he could just turn and throw it as far as he could and let Devin Smith run under it. So I think it's Devin Smith.
I agree. I think it's also Devin Smith. He was incredible with that playoff run. Just every time Cardale loaded up and launched it, you just knew where it was going. You knew it was Devin Smith already in the end zone behind the entire defense. And when I look at the stats, too, the number 1 receptions, yards per reception, is Doug Donley, who averaged 21. That was early days. And then number 2 was Devin Smith at 20.7.
Who's number 3 on that list?
We've got Jeff Graham and then Joey Galloway, Gary Williams, Michael Jenkins, Marvin Harrison, Santonio Holmes, Chris Carter.
It's funny because Ted Ginn was also a guy that, like, right? I mean, just you throw the deep ball up and you felt good. So this or that, guys. I'm going back to the NFL draft coming up later on this month. Are the Browns going to take Carnell Tate at 6 or not? This or that?
If Carnell Tate is on the board at 6, then yes, the Cleveland Browns should take him.
I'm not saying should.
I think they will. I think they will take them. I hate the one thing that you've heard a lot about the Browns and Caden Proctor this week, in that they really like him. And the one thing we know Andrew Berry loves to do is trade back. That makes me a little nervous that Cleveland's going to trade out of 6 and trade back and add more picks and maybe take a Caden Proctor. But I just believe if Carnell Tate's on the board at 6, that's too good for them to pass up, that they will take him at 6.
I hope so. And I do think so. So I'm going to go yes. The odds will tell you Carnell Tate, he is plus 145 to be the number 6th overall pick. And you brought up Proctor. Proctor's 14-1 to go number 6. So the odds would agree about Carnell Tate. Do you believe your Browns, Isaiah, will take Tate?
I do believe they will take Tate. If they don't, I think it's because they're trading back. Like Big said, I am in the mindset that Tate is the pick. I think he will be the pick. At this point for the Browns, they need some good PR. Take a Buckeye. Take a wide receiver. Let's do it. Take Carnell Tate.
All right, guys, it is Masters Sunday. And you can't go to the Masters without getting some of that reasonably priced food that you can get at the Masters. So I'm giving you just 2 of the options. You're at the Masters. You are getting the egg salad sandwich, or are you getting the pimento cheese?
Okay, so it's funny you ask this because I had never had pimento cheese before yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I've ever had it, and I thought it was incredible. I loved it. It had a little spice to it. We used it. We had little nachos with it. Egg salad's fine. Doesn't do a whole lot for me, so I'm going to go with the pimento.
So I got to be honest with you.
You've never had it?
I've never had pimento cheese either.
I hadn't either.
But there is no world that I am getting down with egg salad, so bring on the pimento cheese.
I like egg salad.
See, I don't like egg salad at all, so I'm 100% going, and I like pimento cheese, so I'm going with the pimento.
I need to go to the store and get some pimento cheese and try it out.
Yeah, we had it yesterday. It was a Masters party, and they had this drink that they called the Azalea, which really was like a lemonade and vodka. But they had that, and then they had the pimento cheese, and then I ordered a pizza as well. So yeah, it was a heck of a Masters party as I'm watching and rooting for Cam Young.
Next one for me, this or that, and this is going for a casual sporting event. We're going to either a baseball game, whether it be the Clippers, the Reds, the Guardians, having a beer at a baseball game, or having a beer at a golf event. And for me, it would be the Memorial, because that's the only golf event I ever regularly attend. But I am there every year. Which casual sporting event do you like better?
Ooh. I don't see the problem for me is I don't view the Memorial Tournament as a casual sporting event for me. Like that I love it so much out there. And usually I'm working, so I'm not drinking beers at the Memorial too much, but I don't think I could go to a baseball game and not get a beer. I can go to the Memorial Tournament and not have a beer. So I'll go baseball.
I mean, why would I want to do either of these, quite frankly?
And at the Memorial, you're drinking a transfusion.
Yep, I think that's the winner right there. At the Memorial, I'm probably getting a transfusion, baseball game, and beer. Yep, that's it. That's the answer.
See, I love being at the Memorial and just being able to walk around. It almost feels like you're at like a fun little day party when you're walking around out there and watching all the golfers and all my friends go, and we're going from hole to hole. You get a good spot. You sit down for a while. You get sunburnt. Oh, it's a blast. I love getting a good casual beer at the Memorial.
So yesterday we had our first bonfire, right? Backyard, had that thing burning like crazy. I mean, I threw the old Christmas tree in that thing, and that fire exploded. It was incredible. And then we had a whole long discussion. Do you like the smell after you've been in a campfire? Do you like the smell of campfire on you, or do you hate it? Because I think it could go either way based on the conversation that I had last night. Some people like it, some people hate it. Which way are you, Ryan? Love or hate the smell?
I love the smell while it's happening, but I dislike the smell 2 hours later. So I'm going to hate the smell.
See, and the problem for me is I didn't shower afterward, right? And I'm laying in bed.
Oh.
So now my sheets kind of smell like campfire, but I love the smell, so I love it. I'm all for it.
I hate the smell of campfire. I like the smell as I'm approaching the campfire. Maybe if I'm going to my friend's house and I can already smell the fire when I pull in, that's awesome. When I leave, I have to go straight home and get into the shower. I cannot stand the smell.
It's kind of like the first time you went to a bar after they banned smoking in bars, but yet there was that one bar that they still smoked in, and you went inside there, and then you went home, and the next morning you woke up and you're like, oh my God, my clothes used to smell like that all the time. That's brutal.
Exactly. You got one more for us, Ryan?
I do have one more, and I don't know if you're going to like this one, Scotty.
Oh, gosh.
Would you rather that the Ohio State basketball team makes the NCAA tournament every year and can make a run every couple of years, but the football team will miss out on the college football playoff every couple of years? Or would you rather keep it the way it is right now and the basketball team is going to struggle to get in the tournament every year, but you've got a top 5 football program that can win a national championship every year?
For me, I got to have the basketball team rebound. That's my number one, OSU hoops. So if we can get them to being good and making runs like that, sign me up for that. Are we saying that the football team can never win another championship if that's the case?
No, they're just going to miss out on the college. They're not going to be in the college football playoff every year. They're going to miss out sometimes.
Okay, I'll do that.
I think I'm with you. I think I would rather have the basketball team in the tournament every year with at least the chance, and then maybe make a run through the Sweet 16 to the Elite 8, possibly a Final Four. Give me the Thad years back.
Yeah.
And I'll sacrifice a college football playoff every couple of years.
This is so tough because once you said bring the Thad years back, that just made me be like, now I really want to lean basketball. I wanted so hard to just say it's unacceptable for Ohio State to miss a 12-team playoff. Like, I want to say that, but it would be so much more fun if the basketball team could get back to that level. So I will also lean the basketball team getting back if it means that the Buckeyes football team once in every, you said couple years, so I'm going to say that's like every 6 years, misses it.
All right, headline. We all say Ohio State football can miss the playoff every couple of years, right? Is that what we're taking from this segment?
I guess so. If it means the basketball team.
All right. Sign me up. All right. Also, sign me up for Best Bets because this is Master Sunday. We got to get the best bets out there. We got the Blue Jackets. Huge opportunity this afternoon for them. So coming up next, we're going to hand out the best bets to make for this Sunday right here on the Money.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Statistics show that roughly 20 veterans die by suicide every day in the United States. Canines for Warriors is the leading nonprofit organization providing highly trained service dogs to veterans with PTSD and other invisible wounds of war. Backed by scientific research, Canines for Warriors has transformed the lives of more than 1,000 veterans, helping them reclaim their independence. To find out more, please visit caninesforwarriors.org.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to fund a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research. Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
I'm Brianna Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
The Jackets are back at Nationwide for a battle with the Bruins. Live fan coverage starts Sunday at 5.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
And now back to a show featuring two dudes who've been kicked out of their homes by angry wives. This pretty much sums up every show we have here on The Fan. You're listening to On the Money.
Sponsored by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
So the only good thing about Michigan winning the national championship on Monday is before the tournament started, I had a little parlay, which was Michigan to win it all and Cam Young to win the Masters. At that time, it was Michigan plus 325 and Cam Young 40-1. I did it because Cam Young won the Players Championship. So I did a little $25 to win $5,000. And so I'm sitting here with this ticket on Cam Young, and I know that I've got to hedge like crazy today, worried about Rory getting it done, but at least he's tied for the lead and right in position. If I had to give a best bet for who wins this thing today, I've got Cam Young. I just love the way he's played. He had a terrible front nine on Thursday. He was 4 over at one point and then has been just absolutely incredible since. So I am sticking with my guns. I'm sticking with Cam Young to get this thing done today. Ryan, your best bet for today.
Well, I've said I think Scotty Scheffler's going to win this thing, and depending on what betting website you're using, I've seen it anywhere from plus 875 to 11-1. And I think
get the 11-1.
Yeah, if you can find the 11-1, go ahead and grab that and do so. So I just have a feeling Scotty Scheffler gets it done today, and I think that is worth the squeeze there. So that's where I would go on this thing.
I'm with you. If you're trying to kind of handicap a little bit longer shot, and again, Cam Young sitting there about plus 250, Rory McIlroy right around plus 150. I don't think Sam Burns gets it done. I know he's one shot back. Lowry does have a major under his belt winning the Open Championship. It wouldn't shock me if Lowry won. It would surprise me a little bit if Day wins. He's sitting there at 22-1. Rose, like I know his story of getting into the playoff last year, impressive. I just don't think that he gets it done. I think if there's a longer shot chaser to have, it's got to be the number one player in the world in Scottie Scheffler. So I'm with you. If I were to power rank most likely to win today, I would go Cam Young 1, Rory 2, Scottie Scheffler 3. And so if you're looking for the betting value, I think you're probably right. At 11-1, Scottie Scheffler makes sense. Now, I've had some really brutal golf bad beats over the last few weeks. So please get me home with Cam Young. This would just make Michigan winning the national championship on Monday, which we talked about was the ultimate nightmare for me. If Cam Young can get this done, I won't care about Michigan's championship anymore. So let's go. Come on, Cam Young.
That would be awesome for you. That'd be great. And good for him, too. First major championship win. That's one of the reasons why I think Scottie Scheffler gets it done, but I'm pulling for Justin Rose today because he's getting up there. He's 45 years old, and he's never won a Masters championship. He's been the bridesmaid 3 times. God, that would suck if it happened to him again. 2 years in a row. But he is, I think he's kind of an underrated player in our lifetime and probably one of the better players that we've seen here for the past couple of decades on the PGA Tour. I would love to see him get that first one at Augusta today.
And if you're looking to have a little bit of fun with the Masters and you don't necessarily want to take a player to win, one of the things you can do is you can parlay top 10s, top 20s. Those are a lot of fun on a Sunday. Just throw a few bucks down, take 4, 5, 6 guys to finish in the top 10 or in the top 20. That's a fun parlay to make. And important note, Blue Jackets, huge game today. And our boy Ryan here is going to be out on the plaza. And at 4:15, you are hosting. I know the schedule.
4:15.
I know your schedule more than you know your schedule.
It does say 4:45 in the email. That's when the doors open today. So that's what threw me off a little bit.
Yeah. So at 4:15 on the plaza, Ryan, you're going to be out doing a little trivia.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I was actually just looking at some of the trivia questions that we had, adding a couple of my own in there. So it's going to be a fun time, and we're going to have an autograph stick. Not sure who autographed that stick yet, but we're going to have one of those to give away.
I think it's a team autograph stick.
Oh, it's a team autograph.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. It's even better.
So get out to the plaza. Get out there early and hang out with our boy Ryan. 4:15 trivia contest right at the DJ stage. And you're going to be pulling up a lot of people. So a lot of people are going to have the opportunity to win. All right. Go Blue Jackets. Go Aviators today. And go Cam Young. That's it for us here on The Money. Ryan Baker, thank you for sitting in for Dave Biddle. Isaiah Jacob behind the glass. We appreciate you. Coming up next, don't go anywhere because our good friends Cole Bartemus and Jacob Reimer have you with Fan Sports Sunday. Thanks for listening to On the Money.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The